So, good evening, everyone. Welcome to our Monday night evening, Monday night connection. And some of you are here. Where thank you to coming here physically as well. And some of you watching online right now and the recording, we greatly appreciate your support and the interest and the desire to connect to this wisdom. So what we do every week, and for some of you are coming for a while, know that we go into the literal story, right, that has been awakened in the world. And with the wisdom of Kabbalah, we learn to awaken the secrets of how can I use this wisdom to benefit my life? How can I improve my life today, unlike last week, So it's all about improving my life. It's all about changing. It's all about transformation. But it's really all about the work that you can do with yourself. So one thing that you need to remember is a prerequisite in life. No one in this world can save you. No, that's according to Kabbalah. And by the way, you don't have to believe me. Actually, I'm asking you, don't believe a word I'm telling you here. Okay? Why? Because I'm asking for you to learn. I'm asking you to open yourself, not to be just robotically, whatever you say, I believe. Take the time, learn, ask questions, try it, test it. Works, great. Doesn't work, move on. It's all good. But the idea is, are you really going to internalize and do something about it? That's up to you. So remind you, no one can help you to fix what you need to be fixed. Everybody can be with you. Everyone can support you. Yes, you can gain as many students as you can. But the bottom line is you need to do the work. That's the hard part in life, because we usually, I know some of you disappointed right now. Oh, I thought you're going to save me. There's going to be a guru or some kind of a rabbi or some kind of a priest that will do something and cleanse me, right? Never worked, will never work. And no matter what you're going to give for it to change, it's not going to work unless you do the work. This is in our time today. Most of us are pretty intelligent. We're not talking about, 700 years ago when there's no any internet or any books that can teach you this. Today, we all know, and everything is accessible. We're focusing right now on this wisdom of Kabbalah. The wisdom of Kabbalah is a very, very ancient wisdom, was concealed in barricades of chains for thousands of years, up until the last recent 50, 60 years, that is exponentially growth, but it's not because somebody decided, it's because the universe is ready. They call it the age of Aquarius. The age of Aquarius is a lot of revelation, a lot of new technology, and we're just scratching the surface of what's about to be revealed. Therefore, what we're doing with the wisdom of Kabbalah, we expedite your consciousness. You are here. I don't know you. Maybe we never met before. Maybe we never meet again. But I know you are here because the universe sent you to hear those messages, to connect to it. What you're going to do about it, it's up to you. You're watching online. You're going to see it maybe in 6 months from now. You meant to hear it. Use it take it to your advantage. What can I use today from what I learned to accelerate my life, to accelerate my transformation? And therefore, this is what you want to, at least deepening within you. That being said, this week, okay, now again, I want to share with you that when we're talking about Kabbalah, we're talking about cosmic, right? Cosmic revelation. We never talk about something that, oh, Benjamin, if you like speaking about that, I'm going to speak about it. No, it's what the universe pouring on us. It's like I said many times, we are right now entered to the month of Pisces, right? And we know in that month, cosmically, in the lunar calendar, right, there's a specific gift that this month has been projected to this universe. People don't know. Knowing makes the connection. You just need to know about it. You already made the connection consciously, and spiritually. That's what it is. So why do I need to know it? Because that makes the connection to lessons and secrets that you need to learn. Because sometimes, and again, I shared many times, many people trying to figure, but how I'm going to make it happen, how I'm going to make my success, how I'm going to get married, how I'm going to find my soulmate, how I'm going to find a solution to my business, how I'm going to do. You don't need to worry about it. But you need to worry about two things. I'm sure all of you have a navigation system, right? In your phone. Call it Waze or something. You have it? Anybody have it? Everybody have it? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about? So when you open your navigation system, or you go to your car and you drive, what do? You put what? Destination. Where am I going? Where do I want to go? I can tell you that the majority of the people on the world are failure because they don't know where they're going. So they're never going to get there. Just the first, ABC, like, the beginning step. So wait a second, that's not enough. Because the GPS asks you what second question is, where you come from, right? From home, from your location, from where, right? You have to find and detect where you're at. And the rest, the universe will do. So you just need to know where you're going, where you're at, and let go of how it's going to be happening. Because the world, the universe will start bringing to you the path of to make it happen. Does that make sense what I just said? So this is what we're doing. Cosmically, the universe pouring on us so much information, but when we don't know, we don't access it. So people stay oblivious or whatever they I don't know all day long. I don't know. And there's another group of people who I know. That's the two group of people in this world, right? The people in the knowing, which are very annoying, right? Have you met those people? Some of them are us. And we're all in the knowing. I know. Yeah. You need to change something about yourself. Yeah, I know. I don't want even want to hear what I need to change. I know I need to change. And that's it. It stops there. So, and the people are, I don't know, and they're always stuck. I don't know, and they're always stuck. So this is what information is, not simply just like, it's all over the internet or it's on a book. Let me tell you something that I share a few times about information, a very valuable information for your life. It have a characteristic that you need to be aware of. Information about your change, your transformation, information about where and how to meet your soulmate, information about that telling you how to get from place A to B. That's a very sensitive information, a very secretive, very valuable, and very secure information that is open only to you. You probably heard many people tell you, oh, I feel for you and channeling for you stuff, right? Be aware of these things, okay? I'm not saying don't jump on every time somebody channeling for you. You need to be your own channel, which I want to establish today, a reality which you going to start to hear the messages that meant to be yours. But first, to know an indication about information that is valuable for your soul, you have to imagine that information like a bird. Okay? Have you seen a bird sitting on the window, and as soon as you have a slight wrong move, what the bird does? Escape. You seen that? Even you blinking in the wrong way, the bird flies. The same thing when you're about so close to get the information, if you're not in the right consciousness, that information is flying away from you. It's going to come back, but not when you're ready, not when you expect it, not when you need it sometime. Okay? So information that is very valuable for your soul, meaning that the map that is drawing between place A to B, be very aware that's a very secure information that doesn't come like that, easy. But if you're not in the right consciousness, if you're not in the right frame to attract it, you're making the wrong move, that information flies and will come back in a different time. So hopefully that is, just set up in a way that, we're very aware of what we need to look for. This week, and I said before, we are in the month of Pisces, which is the new, you can create, this month is ready for what? Create a new order in your life, in your world. It's called Seder Olami Chadash, which is a new world order. But it's not the whole world, it's your world. So now the order that you want to create is first of all in your head, right? Well, I can give you one key idea that we're going to speak about it today. Again, there's many secrets. I'm going to take slow, okay? And there's going to be 8 points to share, okay? Very quick points. But as we study this, when we're speaking about, an order, there is a very clear understanding, according to Kabbalah, the external world and the internal world. The internal world is what's happening inside of you and more. And the external world is just outside of you. Everything that is outside of you, right? So if you tell me that today somebody came to work, let's assuming that you have a job, right? Someone came to work and just had a bad day and start lashing on anybody, right? How does it make us feel? Right away, like, what's going on? Who do they think they are? And we become affected by their behavior. Is it right to say yes or no? Right? We get affected. We get affected by somebody have a bad day. Meaning the external world was my creator, was my God. Whatever you call God, whatever you call creator, whatever you call universe. I'm allowing external reality to influence my decisions about people, about situation, but this one detail that needs to complete shift of how I think, the order of thinking. First is internal, then it is external. Most people going fixing problem outside, fixing their life externally, the houses, the order in everything, but never order internal, never internal order, never a clean house inside. Some of that corruption that we behaving internally that nobody knows. Don't be afraid. Nobody gonna catch you. Okay, the corruption of thinking, this way we all know because we all have it. Some of you probably pure, they don't have it. But some of people like us, that working in this world, you're going to go through a corruption in your mind. How you see things is not so clean. How you thinking about people is not so clean. How you thinking about yourself is very not clean. So again, or you put yourself on a pedestal and everybody's down here, right? So either way, it's corrupted. So we need to be aware of where we are internally and how it looks externally, and also how much externally it influence my decisions. Does that make sense to everybody? So now, when we go into these weeks, there are, in the month of Pisces, there are 4 different sections that we're going to read from what we call the Bible, the Torah, right? The story is just a story. It's like when you look at a human, right? You look at each other. You just see a body. You see the wrap. You just see the cover. You don't really know what's going on internally, yes or no? You say yes, right? You don't know exactly what's going on. You don't know the life of the story of the individual, but externally you see something. And is that, we all know that is not the right way to judge people. Everyone have a story, everyone have a secret, everyone have a thing that they went through. And once you allow yourself to experience their story, you get connected stronger, right? The same thing about the whole historic document that people are following for thousands of years. And I said it many times, the bestseller in the world for thousands of years. The Bible, you know that, right?
Yeah.
Nobody sells copy like that. And people keep buying it. Maybe the hotels, I don't know. But they keep buying it, buying it, buying it. But why? What do they read about it? What do they learn inside? A story. And some of it are very, very corrupted story. It seems like the entire story, if you read it, if you don't know, a lot of killing, a lot of murdering, nations fighting, a lot of like horror sometimes, a lot of beautiful things also. But what do the people get connected when they read it? And for that, without the wisdom of Kabbalah that brought to us in the last 50, 60 years, way more than before, it was very hard to understand that. So now today I'm going to show you a few ideas that people read, and you can read the story, and it will be very hard to understand how is it related to my life. What is that whole story? Seems like it's just a document that somebody said maybe 3,000 years ago, but it's outdated. I can tell you that this is way more accurate than the news that you watch on the TV right now on TV. This is how accurate it is. Actuality. Today, actuality. This is it. But it's written 3,000 years ago. It's not. These codes, these secrets, it's just incredible. And again, sometimes it's like, I think I'm losing kind of like, what? How is it possible? Because I grew up on that, you understand? I grew up in Israel. I grew up on these stories that like religious story and all of that. And it's like, now that you study with this new set of glasses, wow, it's open it. It's an ocean of knowledge. It's so valuable to each one of us life. Super valuable. I'm going to share with you a few for tonight, okay? This story, today's story, this week's story, speaks about. I'll tell you the beginning of that. The instruction is that the Creator came to Moses. Remember Moses, right? Moses is not the Moses of 3,000, 4,000 years ago. Moses is your internal Moses, your internal prophet. That's what it is. He never speaks about external character. He speaks about our internal prophet, right? So you have to connect to it. So the Creator speaks to Moses and says him, speak to the nation, right? And he says to them, and you should command on the entire Israelite to take a pure olive oil, that is a pressed olive oil, right? And it has to be very pure. And the story continue about the instruction of they now assigning a high priest. Remember in the holy temples, and many even today, this speaks about a high priest. In this portion, tons and tons of information, tons and tons of knowledge of writings about the clothing of the high priest. I don't think any of us is like a high priest clothing designer here. Anybody here? Yeah, you are a high priest clothing designer? No. Anybody is about to do the Urim Vetumim, the breastplate of the high priest? He had like a breastplate, 12 stones. He had like an amazing, right? Anybody's about, why do I need this? Why is it important for me to know about it? And the idea is so beautiful. It's nothing to do with those details about how to structure a priest. It's first of all, within each one of us, there is a priest. What is a priest? Is a channel of the light of the Creator. There's a light, there's an infinite light in this world. There's an infinite intelligence that is pouring to this world. And each one of us meant to be channel for this wisdom. That is the Kohen. Kohen is a priest. He's a channel. He doesn't have possession in this physical world. He's just meant to deliver, to do the work in the Holy Temple. What does it mean? Remember last week we spoke about building a temple? If you're following, you see it's the sequence of how he's guiding us to become a huge channel to this world, a huge conduit. Most of us doing it today for our ego. I'm not talking for that. I'm talking about real success for the world, real love to the world, real happiness to people, real blessings to people. That's what we're looking for. Not just giving them some ego or let them feel good about themselves for the moment, forever. So now, also to know, cosmically, next Monday, my friend Nuriel shared last week, and I want to share it as well because we're not going to be here Monday next week. It's a holiday for one day. It's called Purim. Purim. Some people, and those of you who live in New York, most of you in New York, yeah, you probably heard about a holiday that is important to the Jewish people. It's called Kippurim. Have you heard of Yom Kippur? Mm-hmm. Everybody's fasting. Everybody go the whole day crying. The day of repentance. The day of right. Have you heard of it before? Mm-hmm. It's supposedly the most important day for the Jewish people. Yes or no? Yeah. No. Yom Kippurim, Yom Kippur. If you hear the word, it says it's Yom Kippurim, like Purim. Let's understand what we're talking about. It's a concealed day that is way more powerful than Purim, than Yom Kippur that people think. But people don't know. People don't know the cosmic opening that's opening in Monday night until Tuesday night. There's a huge window in time. And by the way, so you know, according to the Kabbalists, ancient Kabbalah, it says that all those holidays, all those openings will disappear from the world, and the only thing that will remain is Purim. Because the only thing you do in Purim is you eat, you drink, and you hear a story, a Megillah. It's called Megillah. You eat, you drink, you get dressed, customs. I mean, almost like a Halloween of the Jewish people, right? Yeah. But let me tell you something. It's nothing to do with Jewish people. It's a cosmic opportunity for all our souls. That's what it is. It's nothing to do with religion. It's nothing to do with the specific people. Nothing of this, what we call the universal opening. There's 365 days of the year. And there are windows and doors in time for all humanity that was open from the day of creation before even any human was exist. These doors was open. So it's really never kept for people, for specific people, but for humanity. It never speaks about just these specific people, but humanity. If you have a soul, you need to be part of it. You can use this cosmic opening no matter who you are. Now, more you know about it, more stronger your connection. So just for an example, I'm going to share a few ideas of what you can do today. And Monday, next Monday, you just, again, you're going to, it's up to you. If you do it, you do it. Don't do it, you don't do it. But today, this week, I give you a few ideas to work on, to mark for yourself in your diary or whatever to write down. And then when it comes that day, next week, Monday night, you're going to make the connection. I'm going to give you a few ideas what to do. So what's happening in Purim? In Purim, in that day, it says the Nafal Hapur. Pur, it's almost the destiny of the entire nation was changed. Okay? What does it mean, Pur? They moved from complete annihilation to complete revelation and revive everyone. Okay, that was in that day energy, the energy of the day. The difference between Yom Kippur that you heard before, the fasting and all of that, to Purim is in the order of where the energy is channeling to this world. In Yom Kippur, there's a lot of repentance needs to happen. There's a lot of work from below, right? So the energy flow from below to above, whatever it means to you. In Purim, it's a free energy that comes from above to help us with so many of the issues that we're dealing with on a regular basis for the entire year, much harder, comes Purim, you can easily grab from that for free. If you know what's happening, I said before, knowing makes the connection. This is what it's about. So what do we do in Purim? In Purim, there's that energy is awakened. But what type of energy, right? It's called the energy of understanding, the energy of protection, the energy of seeing. Sometime in life, it's very hard to connect the dots. In Purim, that's already been done. You just need to be able to see it. This is the gift, right? What do? We reading what we call Megillat Esther, which I'll explain to you what it means. They're reading from a scroll, but it's really a code. The word Megillat Esther is Megale, which is revealing. Esther is the word for concealment, right? Hester, the revealment of all the concealment in this world. Meaning, sometime in life, you have things that are concealed. You don't see how, you don't see where it's going to come from. You don't see who you saw. Sometimes we don't see everything. Most of the time, we don't see anything. In this time, everything that is concealed in your life can be revealed, can be flipped, completely flipped, to be revealed in front of you, if you do the right work. So whatever, most of us have many questions about many things. Second thing is, you eat and you drink a lot, not water.
You get drunk.
You have to get to the level only with drinking. I know some of you are using some other stuff, some of you exploring. It's specifically about drinking. Any other time of the year, it doesn't work. It works for other stuff, my friend. It works for fun, it works for this, it works for social, like that's good. In this day, it's a mission. In Monday night, next week, it's a mission. It's nothing to do with the party, something to do with my spiritual connection. Why? In the day, when you drink in that day, you achieve the level what you call ad delo yada, until you're losing consciousness. Meaning when you lose your consciousness, now the day can take over and give you a higher consciousness because you left your body, right? So it's automatic, right? So obviously this is one of the things. And then we're putting mask, right? Anybody like to wear customs? Most people like it. But don't you think it's interesting why we like it? Because we use it every single day. Every single day, we are wearing masks. You have different hats. When you go home, when you go to work, when you see that person, boom, that mask. When you see that person, boom, that mask. When you go to a Monday night, you put in the mask of spiritual, right? You go to other party, you go to put a mask of the party, you put a mask of this, you put a mask of that. In Purim, it tells you, listen, if you're wearing all these hats and all these masks, I don't even recognize you. The universe doesn't recognize you. Where do you want me to give you all the blessings? To which mask? So that's why we're wearing mask in Purim, to expose the real us. Because when you drink, you can't really hold back. You understand what I'm saying? When you drink, no matter what mask do you have, the truth comes out. And in that day, this is the transformation. And again, as simple as I said, that's it. And give some charity in that day to help a community, right? Any of whatever you want. Why? Because you want to awaken a gift. I want to become an endless giver. That's what you want to do. My small giving that I've done today, I'm telling the universe, I want to become an endless giver. I see myself continuously giving to the world, influencing the world. So that is been said. To prepare ourselves to that, that's why we have the week prior to it. That's what the cosmos always gives you, the preparation to what comes. You never get challenged unless you got the solution before. You never get solution because there is something that you like. If you get tools, because I need it for tomorrow. So, so he says the instructions are like that. We, each one of us, need to come to the level that he says in the Torah, and you should command. V'ata tetzaveh, and you should be in a place where you dictate to the world, to the universe, how and where to reveal light, information, knowledge. What does it mean? It means that most of us living externally, influenced by the outside world and changing our behavior based on people like me. Oh, so I can continue with this behavior. They don't like me, so I need to behave differently, right? Oh, when I dress this way, they look at me this way. When I dress this way, they look at me that way. And people live life like that, robotic, based on other people's opinion. That has to stop. That has to stop in a very, very yesterday, right? But you want to come to the level that you commanding on life, how, where, what, all the time. You can't be like chasing after people, chasing after ghosts, chasing after, maybe that's going to give me. Oh, maybe Kabbalah going to find me my soulmate. Or maybe this is going to give me my money. Or maybe they're going to be my solution. That's not going to happen. The solution is already inside of you. The resources are already infused within you. If you're looking externally, you're wasting your time, valuable time. So what I would like each one of us to connect is to that priest, to that channeling to this wall, right? How? When you become commanding on this reality, meaning I'm not allowing anybody to influence my mind, the sacred place. I'm not anybody ruining my temple, my peace of mind, my peace of my tranquility in the internal. I'm not talking about the external. But again, I want to share with you more about it, because that priest, right? That priest that wants to influence this world, there's a problem there. Why? I want to be in command on my life. Anybody here wants to live life that somebody commanding on you all day long? It's eventually you escape the relationship like that, right? You know, you have a relationship that either him or her or they controlling you, right? Like you feel like you're afraid, you're under siege, right? Some people live like that and they don't even know that every move is influenced by somebody, or dictatorship by somebody else. We don't want it. But you know when you can get there? If you now, again, this is the wisdom of Kabbalah. If you read the story, it says, and you should be the one who commands. But I'm trying it, nothing works. You know why it doesn't work? Because the word tetzaveh, command, should be read differently. Tetzuveh. What does it mean? You should be able to take or receive commands from others. If you're not willing to be taking orders, if you're not willing to listen to instructions, right? If you're not willing to take down the I know, you won't be able to be the one who say and to command. It's a very strict rules, universally, cosmically. For example, how do I know that I have a bad student? Very bad student. You know how? Because they not become leaders. And how do you know that the leader is very bad? He's not willing to learn. Very, very clear. Okay? If I want to be commanding and I'm not willing to accept commands from others, or follow instructions, or, within yourself, how many times you had an agreement with yourself and you broke it? And you want to be in command? How many times you disagree with yourself, right? But I agree with myself that I'm not going to do it. I'm never going to do this. And then I broke my own promises, right? And then you want to be in command over your life? No. The universe doesn't let people like that. Seriously. It's equivalent to the degree that you're willing to accept and to take command and to listen and to follow instruction. To that degree, the world will open for you. The exact degree. If I'm not able to be a metzuveh, meaning take command, accept from others, learn from others, nobody will learn from you. Nobody will listen to you. Nobody will follow you. It's very exact. It's like, it's crazy, right? So if I'm a real student, if I'm a real soldier, I have to be in command. I have to become a commander. If I'm a real student, I want to be a leader. I want to show by example how. What is a leadership? That you take what you learn and you show by example, right? So that is the prerequisite for today. Why? Because you're about to receive upon yourself clothing. What does it mean, clothing? The clothing of the high priest is nothing to do with the physical clothing, even though there is a specific purpose for them, okay? Which is very important preparation for Purim. Also clothing, if you remember, mask, costume, it's also the idea. So remember, Bigdei HaKohen, the clothing of the Kohen, are technology. There used to be, it's a use as a technology to eliminate negativity. Technology to remove negativity. Now I'll explain to you. Beged is clothing. Beged is the same word as boged, which is a traitor or a cheater, right? Somebody who's cheating, right? So the same word. Why? Why? Because I might, see somebody dressed so nice, but when they open their mouth, something happening, right? Have you had that before? Or you see a gorgeous person, and then you're talking to them, and they're completely like very, I don't want to say, you know what I'm talking about, right? So it might be seen that it's deceiving you. What the person, like, I feel like I was cheated, right? The person seemed like with a suit, in his look, and this. That's why I tell you, don't ever believe me. Don't ever believe me. Try it, test it, and you see what we're talking about. Because otherwise, you're so robotic. Oh yeah, wow, it seems like a very nice guy. No, don't fall into it. No. From today, you don't let it. You let it in. You work with it. You think about it, and then you make your own decision, my friends. Do your due diligence. Don't jump to anything or anyone just because of look. Look can be deceived. You heard it before. So therefore, first of all, in order to understand the clothing is just a cover, right? It's not the same as your skin and bone and your soul, right? The clothing doesn't really change who you are, but they can extract who you are in a better way, like articulate who you are in a better way, right? So imagine if you come to a tuxedo party with Nuriel sneakers, flip-flop, right? They're gonna tell you, listen, we love you, but it's the wrong clothing for that occasion. Does that make sense what I'm saying? Yeah. Right? So in a way, now we know it's nothing to do personally, it's just choice of clothing. That being said, there are 8 items that I'm going to mention you. One sentence, if you have a pen and paper, you want to listen to the recording, write it down. This is what you're going to work on for next week. Why? I'm not going to do anything about it. You just need to know to make the connection. Knowing makes the connection. What does it mean? It means that each one of the items of the clothing, when I'm mentioning them, and they're being cosmically right now in the universe, today we don't have those physical clothing, but the consciousness of them is pouring to this world to help us cleanse before we come to Purim. So again, the first item that we're going to talk about is called ephod. Ephod, he had a vest. ephod, a vest. Now, the word ephod is a code. I don't want to go into many details. Some of us is above our paved grade, right? So we're going to move on with that. But to understand, when he's talking about the ephod, the vest, what does it mean? It's the power to cleanse all idol worshiping we had. Idol worshiping. What does it mean? It's a lot of time wasted. Instead of revealing light in your life, instead of revealing greatness in your life, you're wasting your time. Like, you know how many times you heard yourself say, I don't have time, I don't have time, I don't have time. That's idol worshiping. You make time. It's not, many people hide behind the, I don't have time, I don't have time, I don't have time, right? In a way of like, you feel like that. Idol worshiping is when we give our energy externally to something. Like, for example, if I don't have vacation, I'm going to lose it, right? So I build on the vacation. I'm not in charge. The vacation is in charge. If I don't get my text in the morning from my spouse that he loves me and she loves me and they miss me, my day is not so good. If I go to sleep and I didn't hear from you, I can go to sleep. Have you heard that before? Idol worshiping. All kind of idols that we have. Boom, you take it down. You take that mask. This is the energy that's available for us. Second one is the choshen, is the breastplate, right? That cleansing judgment. There are 12 different stones that written with engraved with different names that represent the 12 sign of the zodiac, that represent the 12 months of the year. Each one of them have a limited limitation over us. For example, have you heard about people speaking about astrological sign? Oh yeah, but I'm an Aries, so I can't. Oh yeah, but I'm a this, so what do you want from me? No, stop that. Each one of us meant to be elevated. The idea of the 12 plates, the 12 stones, to give you the strength to go above the influence of the signs, above the yearly cycle, above the influence of the allergies of this year, of all of those things that comes. Please understand, it's never meant to control human meant to be controlled over this physical reality. That's the key, that's the promise of the Kabbalists. So the breastplate was when people used to come close to that, each one of them used to shine, to show you what's your limitation and what you need to overcome. That's what it's about. The other one is called the Urim Utumim. Urim Utumim, it's known to be all these people think if they can find it, they can bring immortality. Urim is the 72 names of the Creator, which we shared a few weeks ago. And Tumim is the 42 names of the Creator. Now, these are names, these are codes, these are secrets. We have it here. We're not going to talk about it right now. But that idea of those 12 stones is connecting to the Urim Utumim, which is the cosmic computer. This is how, with these names, if you want to ask about it later on, the 72 names of God or the 42 names, very powerful. We shared that, I think, a few weeks ago, and right after we can share. Next, you have the Me'il, which is the coat, but they call it the tunic, right? What does it do? Cleansing all the engagement in evil speech. Or, I know you don't speak evil, none of you here, but you sometimes gossiping. No. Sometimes, I really like that nobody will verbally say or admittedly, I'm all day long gossiping. We call it differently, right? What do you want? They wanted to say something, but I don't want to hear it. But you know what? Tell me, just tell me. You know what? Just tell me and get over it. Okay, I'm gonna hear it. No, but I'm interested to know. Don't fall into that. Don't fall into that. Why you want to fall into that? Then you feel bad, you engage, you feel dirty after that. You know that. But we want to know, right? That's why the social media, right? Gossip right and left. Free, right? And we buy it for free, by the way. Oh, a free app of gossip. I want it. So now Purim comes. What is the coat? Coat represents, like, you hide. So imagine every time you hear Lashon Hara, evil tongue, or engage with gossip, you know what you do? You wear a coat that nobody can see you, no light can come in. You wrapped, it's like covering you. Every time you engage with that, you limit how much energy can come to your life. So that is the coat. The next one is called tzitz, which is forehead. Forehead. On the Kohen, on the priest, he had on his forehead this type of whatever plate it is, and it says Kodesh LaHashem. It says only for the sake of revealing light. That's what it says, right? Which means the cleansing there, the cleansing that can happen with what we call this what we call tzitz, right? Is the lack of discipline. Anybody suffer from lack of discipline, or raise your hands? Okay, I know most of us don't raise. We are lacking discipline, but we also lacking boundaries. We also lacking boundaries, my friends. Lack of boundaries gets you in trouble. Boundaries to people in your life, and you don't see the boundaries that other people put for you, and you don't respect them because you have lack of discipline. And again, I don't blame you, but I'm saying, I'm just excited. I'm not screaming at you. This is my Israeli way of, okay? So what do you want from me? I didn't do anything, right? I don't have that issue, right? I'm just like passionate, okay? So that idea is that sometimes we have to understand we have a lot of entitlement based on whatever we've done yesterday. And we wake up in the morning entitled because they should answer us because yesterday I helped them, right? Or you did a favor for someone and now you feel the credit flying above their head, right? You know what I'm talking about? You have a ticket, don't forget, right? It's kind of like very clear, non-verbal agreement, but I'm holding it against you. Whenever you don't behave, hey, remember, right? That is something that you have to really cleanse from yourself. It's limit who you are. It's limit your abilities in life. Many people think, oh, I control people. No, you're missing out. People are running away. So another thing he says is that we also had lack of boundaries in how much we gave to people or how much we received from people. That's also important. Because you remember the time that you gave, and people took, and nothing happened there? Nothing. They left the same, empty, the same as they came. Or you. No matter how much. So there needs to be a boundary. There needs to be an earning. There needs to be a way of accumulation or growth. And that's with boundaries. Okay? So that is the cleansing of all the time I was involved. And also audacity. What we call in Hebrew, chutzpah. Chutzpah, but negative one. Not like something that you dare to be more, right? But chutzpah, grabbing something that doesn't really belong to you. Next. Hamitznefet. He had that we call the mitra, which is a turban, right? Turban. Okay, good. That's the cleansing of unnecessary pride. Sometimes when you ride on the pride, with your ego too far, or a little bit when you're over exaggerating, nobody knows. I mean, everybody knows, but right? That also causes separation with people. That sets you up a little bit higher than others. That makes you feel like you're not even walking, you're just sliding, right? with your ego, what you've done or the results that you had, and you saw the news, no, that's disgusting. That's not connected to soul. It just makes you empty, my friend. At the end of the day, you're going to be empty. So that is the cleansing, and the source of all our reactive behavior. This is the idea of the turban. And then the robe, the kutonet, hakutonet of the priest. What was it cleansing? This is something you're not going to like, but it's cleansing the murder. The murder. What do you mean murder? I would never think like that. I mean, I don't know. Some people think like that, but will never act upon it, right? But they feel bad about it. But listen to me, my friend. We're not talking about that. We're talking about how many times you murder people's personality. How many times you murder ideas that came to you. How many times you murder an excitement or a party pooper that you did, right? It was a party and you just destroyed the person's, no, I don't want to go because of, why you have to destroy for everybody? Boom. Creating that is not murdering somebody physical to murder. It's an extension of many times murdering so many things around, slashing right and left, dismissive on people. Opinion, right? People come to me, the opinion, stop it, right? How many times you embarrass people in public? That's a murder. If somebody, you have to understand, this is something that eventually creates delay for yourself. You didn't even know that. To ask yourself why the deal doesn't happen in the time that I want, why the apartment is not available when I need, why the train is late, why things like that in your life make it very frustrated because of these things. These are barriers. These are make it harder to get to you. So I'm just sharing with you that you can really easily consciousness that you're going to work on this week. All these things, look at them this week. And in Purim, you're done with this. At least if you didn't, you can chop down a chunk of this negativity. Free, my friend, free. Cosmic freedom. So this is the one that, as we said, the robe is the murdering. What does it mean? We disturb something to execute, right? We're disturbing. Like, so for example, you're working in a company and the team is like doing well and your team is not. You're trying to jeopardize with their success. You don't do that. People don't do that in this world, right? Especially not here. But in the world, it's happening. So we want to remove it from us. And the last thing is the avnet and the belt. The belt represents vicious cycles. Vicious cycle, very negative thoughts, right? Anytime you find yourself in a vicious cycle, it's very hard to get out of it. Sometimes it's usually before you go to sleep. If you have something in a day and before you go to sleep, there's like in your mind running, and you don't know what to do. You don't know how to stop. The anxiety goes, right? Anxiety, that's the belt. You know, all the anxiety, understand. The best thing is you want to practice it, right? How do you feel when someone close to you or very, very close to you tells you, by the way, I need to talk to you later? You know what I'm talking about? Or your boss calling you, by the way, call me at, I need to speak. What does he want from me? What did I do? What's going on? You know what I'm talking about? Unnecessary. Unnecessary. But because we do it, right? We fall into it and we give ourselves free into that cycle. So now again, I'll end up with this because it's very long, but I thought to take the time for this because it's such an important free opportunity. What did we ask next week to do? Monday. So this week, take one by one. If the video will be posted much faster, you can listen to it over and over. And or if you have the notes, please look at it. Where am I engaged with this? You can be dismissive of everything. It's fine. Nothing is personal. But maybe by chance, if you think you are here that to hear this message and you can really shift your life completely this week and next week, and be a channel, be a priest. What is in the priest? It's not the people who are in the holy temple. Is you in your temple. You have a temple inside of you, and now you assigned a priest to it to channel all the talent that you have, all the beauty that you have, all the smiles, all the love. Bless you. All the greatness that you came with. And take credit for that. Just share it. And then if you have cleansed all these things, you will start sharing endlessly. You will start become so powerful, regardless of what people think about you or not. So thank you for this opportunity. I'm happy you listen carefully. Okay, you're gonna ask question in a second. Thank you everybody for joining us here. And